Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of the Half Mile Podcast. And today we're with a very good friend of mine, Scott. Scott, will you introduce yourself for us, please?
Yeah, I'm Scott Stewart, professional Thai boxer, current WBC number 3, WMO number 4 and WBC European Champion, as well as UK number 1. There's quite a lot there,
There's
isn't
a
there?
lot, lad. Yeah,
there's
you've
quite
got
a lot.
Titles, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I can actually say I was there to see you get 2 of them titles, lad.
Belt of that, nice one.
Yeah,
Belter.
So Scott, I'm going to take it right back to the beginning, lad. So sorry for touching your leg. How did you get into Muay Thai, lad?
Well, to be honest, since the age of probably like between 8 and 10, I always watched old UFC videos, old cage rage videos. Like, I mean, most of them was terrible, but it was fighting, so I used to watch it. I used to watch a bit of boxing and stuff as well. And I was a bit of a fat kid, to be honest. And my older brother wasn't. My older brother, Louis, was always in shape. And he started the boxing club, so I started with him. And obviously, he went there as a fighter. And I went there as a little chubby kid. And
Which boxing club was it?
ABC with John Allen. And there's a few other good coaches there as well. But I wasn't really a boxer back then. I was just a kid trying to get in shape. Which it worked, like it done a trick. It got me into decent shape. And then that was probably the age of about 11. I used to do that. I started getting into stuff like rugby and football. I had a few years off, and then around 15 I started training in a different gym doing MMA. It was like some stand-up, some ground game.
MMA,
I started with MMA. There was a gym around the corner from ours in the Toby where the boxing club used to be.
In the building offset to the top from the pub.
And it was Paulie Godfrey who I first trained like MMA or Thai boxing with. So I trained there for a couple of years, and I've got a mate, Joe, saying to me all the time, you need to come and try this Thai boxing gym out, you need to come up here. Because it was around the corner, I was like, I'm happy here, do you know what I mean? I was made up, and I actually enjoyed it. It was good training there. That ended up closing down for whatever reason, and I come up and train with Pete, and I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever. The first session with Pete, said to me, mate, I should have come here years ago. It was fucking amazing, mate. Amazing, like. But I probably started with Pete properly at the age of around 16. And as soon as I got there, I thought, this is boss.
That's quite late as well, though, isn't it? As well,
it is fairly late. Fairly late. But you know what?
Get kids that get into it like proper early on in life. You know what I mean? Like little Zach, for example.
Little Zach,
you know what I mean? Like he's a killer. Him. You know
what I mean? By the time he's an adult, mate, he's going to be absolute savage. He is.
Sorry, lad. Carry on.
But so I started training with Peter around 16. I wanted to fight straight away. He showed me that I couldn't fight, basically by knocking fuck out of me. As a coach does, do you know what I mean? I thought I could fight. He showed me that I never.
In the face the first time properly.
Defo. So I'd say after about 6 months, because I stuck at it, I was coming in, I was training twice a day. I was meant to be in college. So me and Tommy Roscoe was at the time. Me and Tommy,
Did you know Tommy?
We used to go to college together. We was meant to go to college together. We'd go in, do our first 2 lessons, and on dinner we'd just fuck it off and come to the gym, lad. And we go and hold some pads or something instead. And then we'd do that, train in the daytime, and then there'd be a class on in the night, so we'd be back at the class in the night time. So basically done that for 6 months, and then Pete, like, I was trying to get an MMA fight. I was doing MMA the whole time, but always hitting pads and stuff. And I struggled to get a fight in MMA, and he said, do you want to do a Thai fight instead? So I was like, definitely. N class, And my first N class at 17. Won by stoppage. Oh my God, never look back. Best thing ever. Barely done MMA since. I've done a few classes here and there. I still enjoy it, but
when I first started in the gym, you helped me with a bit of MMA when I started. I went through a little MMA all time.
You normally have the choice, don't you? To either go one way or the other, and then myself and obviously yourself went for the Thai route. So
N class from there, you just carried on. Did you carry on with N class, or did you go to C class, B class from there?
2 N class. So my first 2 fights, 2 stoppages. Fairly easily, which I shouldn't really say, but it was fairly easy.
You're a humble guy, like you can say easily.
Me first C-class bare shin wasn't very easy. I thought, what's his name now? Kingsley Carter, I think, was my first C-class. He'd had a few MMA fights. He was a tough kid. First time getting kicked with bare shin as well. Wow. That's a feeling you won't forget, mate. I remember at one point he threw a body kick to my side, and I went to catch it. As I've gone to catch it, I haven't moved over. I've just stood still, and like it rattled my whole rib cage. Just rattled, mate. Honestly,
Wow, mate.
So I done 2 and 2C, 3B, and then moved on to A class. Straight up to A class. Yeah. So
what was your favourite fight moving forward? So before we got to
before you get to last year.
Yeah, before we get to last year, because last year we'll get onto that in a minute. Jesus.
It's hard to pick.
Yeah.
It's really hard to pick. I even love the fights that I lost. The fights that I lost, I watch it. It's an absolute bloodbath. And I got lost.
Even like myself, I've watched every single one of YouTube videos. Your fights and. Like the one you lost against Christian, that was even still.
That was a belter.
Fucking war, lad, an all-out crazy war. Yeah. So do you know what we'll get on to last year then, Scott? How amazing was that for you, lad? Let's just put it all together. Juan, Ali.
Right, you know what?
Start with Lee first if you want.
Lee was the year before. Well, you know what? That Lee fight was the first one.
That was like the gateway, in my opinion. When I seen you coming through, that's what I seen.
It was the first time I was on the main card on Yokkao. Before that, I'd headlined 2 shows already. But then I had about 3 years off. I had a broken rib, then ligament damage in my knee, and then I got rematched against Christian. And 6 weeks before it, I had my appendix out. So I had like 3 full years of no fighting at all. I should have had another maybe 9 or 10 fights on top of me 16 I've already had, so I should have had a lot more.
So what's your record, Scott? Sorry.
16 fights, 13 wins. So I've got 3 losses. That's
all.
It's all right, to be fair, isn't it?
Unbelievably impressive.
My best record, my best win streak is 7.
7 wins.
That was my first 7 fights. It's all right, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
It's all right. So I've only ever lost A class fights. I never lost anything else on the build up.
But it takes a loss to win, though. You know what I mean? As you know.
You learn loads of them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So beating Juan, Scott, what did that do for you, like, emotionally?
Right. Knowing that Quan, he was a big name for a long time. I knew who he was for a long time. I always knew, me being a big fighter, at some point we're going to cross paths. And sometimes you look at people, and because they've got a name for themselves, you're never sure. And I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks into the fight camp, I'd done a session with our Louis in here, and I watched it back and I absolutely nailed it. And I thought, you know what, no one's going to be able to withstand that. And it was just one of them things of being a little bit unconfident and thinking, should I be in the ring with this person? So just completely changing and thinking, you know what, I should be in the ring with this person. And literally from then, I beat Quan, and he's a great lad. We had a good chat after it. We had a bevy after it and all that. He's a top lad. But beating people like that who've got such a big name for themselves, the name means nothing. If you believe in yourself more than everyone else believes in them, then that's all that matters, isn't it? If you,
that is absolutely
and I'll work hard as well. So I know sometimes
I've never seen anyone work harder, Scott. And as Liam Harrison said it himself,
fittest man alive. Fittest man alive. It's all right. Liam Harrison says it's true, mate.
That's insane. I see it on my Instagram and I thought, fuck me, this is next level shit.
It's boss. Over the last few months, I've had my name everywhere. Like, I'm seeing it everywhere. Like, everyone knows who I am. Deservedly. And you know what? I actually say that. I know I do deserve it because I've worked hard for it. I've been Thai boxing full time now for 10 years. Over 10 years.
Wow. Is that when you, like, say, put down like the ambition to go and work anywhere else, and you thought, right, that's it. This is
well, Pete took me on at 17. I cased him for a job. Absolutely cased him. He mentioned it once, and I think I asked him for a job about every week for about fucking 6 months.
Like a movie, lad. Get me in.
And you know what? He didn't even like me at first. He thought I was a bellend. He didn't kick the shit out of me and that because I was too cocky.
Typical Pete.
Typical Pete. But it was my fault. I remember the first time he proper nailed me. I was having a joke, you doing your sit-ups, and he comes around and gives you a little dig in the belly. I said to him, was that meant to hurt that? And he turned around and looked at me. And I went, that didn't hurt. He fucking whacked me again. And I said in front of everyone, worst mistake ever. Anyone out there watching, don't ever say this to Pete because he'll fucking do you in. Told me it's like a girl, lad. In front of everyone.
No.
Which, you know what? I know some fucking women who hit very hard, so it's not even a fucking... It's not even an insult. It's not an insult because I've been hit by some hard women.
It's all right, lad.
But he didn't take that as a compliment anyway. And then the next night was sparring, Tuesday night sparring. I remember he kicked the shit out of me, like to the point where, like, when I put my pants on, like, one leg was loose and one leg was tight. I got about, man, it's horrible. I got about 20 yards out of the gym, and I didn't even ring my mum because my mum lived further away. I rang my mate and told him to get his mum to come and get me, and I was on his couch for 3 days, lad. I didn't leave the house for 3 days because I couldn't walk.
Wow, but it's the journey you take, though, isn't it?
It's the journey,
where you are, lad, though, you know what I mean? So, again, moving forward, Ali McPherson, mate, that fight was incredible. I was there, I was ringside, lad. I was ringside looking up, and you know what, mate, that was Oh man,
hell of a fight, like, wasn't it? Good one for the fans.
Yeah,
not good for the brain cells,
round
like.
4 finish on the shout, but it was a round 5 finish.
Round 5 it was,
round 5 on it all the way, and
yeah.
And you know what, Scott? You never stop looking for the knockout, do you?
No.
That's you, innit?
Yeah.
No matter if you're up on points, I've heard it myself. You know, recently up on points, anything. You are just going to win by knockout, by stoppage, any way you can.
Yeah, always try to.
Can
Me
you
first
walk us through that alley one in a minute?
through the alley fight, right. Basically, I went out there, and then first round, you test the water. You'd always test the water. I'd done the first round. I come back to the corner. John Pop was just screaming at me, "Just clinch, just clinch, just clinch." I thought, right, fucking hell, I'll just clinch. So literally, if I get told by my corner team, whatever they say, I'll do, because I trust them. I trust Pete. I trust John Pop. I trust Louis. I trust Petch, and all the other people who are in my team. I trust what they say. So obviously, it's crazy when you fight because it looks really, really hard, but in all honesty, it is hard, but I'm used to it. That's the way I train, so that's the way I fight. So it's not abnormal for me to keep the pace on it, to keep the work rate up. But in all honesty as well, I don't even really feel much when I'm in there. Like, there's some fights where people are absolutely whacking me, and I watch it after it and go, "Ooh, fucking hell!" But when I'm in there, I don't even feel it.
See,
I literally
seen Juan hit you with some mad shit, man.
Yeah.
And you get out the ring, and I think one of the things you said to me, Scott, when I come out and we spoke. You said that none of that hurt me.
No, and I wasn't hurt after it. No offence to him. He's a great fighter.
Yeah, it was an amazing fight, lad.
But yeah, it didn't hurt.
Again, you come out and you said, "Sorry, I didn't feel anything." He hit me with it.
When you train with Louis Stewart 3 days a week, mate, nothing hurts.
Hard fella, mate.
Yeah, nothing hurts.
I think I've been whacked as hard in my life, you know.
Louis. Right, the 3 people who've hit me or done me in the worst is Louis, Liam Nolan and Lyndon Knowles. Yeah. I went up to train with them for a few days. There's some hard men, them, you know. They're good up there. Down there. They're good down there. And Christian's a great coach as well. I learned a lot from the few days I was down there.
Lyndon's a big dude.
Lyndon's a big guy.
He's a very big
You know what, though? He can move him, you know, he's fit.
I've seen him, you know.
I've seen him.
I don't know where it was he went, but was it the Ivory Coast or something he went?
Yeah.
And he went and battered some fella
in
his own
garden.
Didn't he?
Absolutely.
In his own garden, because they were all trying to say that obviously he was going to beat him and all that, blah, blah, blah. No, it didn't happen, did it?
Everyone over there probably thought he was going to win. They see the size of him. He was an absolute machine.
Yeah.
Like, massive. He was like two houses next to each other.
Machine he was against.
Literally, that was his name, wasn't it? That was his name. But Lyndon muftied him, mate, And I think I was training with Lyndon during that fight camp.
Was he?
Yeah. He's probably about 3 or 4 weeks out from a world title fight, and I went down there right at the start of a fight camp. Yeah, WBC World Champion.
Where we are going now, Scott. The WBC Championship. How do you feel, man? Like, really, the feelings inside. To be a WBC champion, mate, what does it feel like? European now and then
European now. At the time, that European title fight was the most important thing in the world to me. Like, training for it, like, I get emotional. I'll sit there and some days I'll be like on top of the world. Other days I'll be a little bit down, only through being tired and run down or whatever. But most of the time I'm generally happy in fight camps. But the thing that takes me through everything is that feeling of finishing a fight, knowing you've won and looking out to all them amazing supporters, because I do get amazing support. I honestly, I've had bigger support for myself than I've ever even seen at a Thai boxing fight. I've had a bigger crowd than anyone else I've ever seen.
I can agree with you there.
Yeah, mate, it's crazy. So looking out at all them crazy people screaming their heads off, the endorphins that gives you, the goosebumps I get even thinking about it, mate, makes every horrible day, every run, every fucking hungry night where you're lying there going, I'm fucking starving, lad. It makes it all worth it, every bit worth it. But then you win the European title, and I went upstairs. I said to Brian Calder, the first thing I said is, "Get me Gerard Atty." I said, "I want that world title." I said, "Get me Gerard Atty," and he did. He got me the fight. So
March 4th. What's your feelings?
My feelings, confidence. I feel good. I'm happy. My diet's well. My weight's on point. My fitness is on point. I feel strong. I feel fit. In all honesty, it couldn't be going any better.
Couldn't it? No,
it really couldn't.
Again, another cliche saying from fighters: a fight camp of your life. I'd say that. I'd say that partly through knowing what I need to do, partly through believing in myself, and then I literally just see it as there's one more man. I need to beat one more man, and I am classed as the best in the world. The WBC World Championship pretty much means you are the best in the world at that weight class. And I know we've got one championship and stuff like that, but WBC. The only people I know WBC. Won championship in my weight class, I've already beat.
You've already beat them.
I've already beat them.
You've already beat them,
and then Cosmo, he's just retired.
Is they the only two?
They're the only two. There's obviously more than that, but I'm not sure who.
Side of things, though.
Kickboxing side, there's more, but I'm not sure about the Thai boxing side.
Would you go to kickboxing, Scott, if it meant one?
Oh yeah, if one championship give me a call and said, yeah, we've got this K1 fight for you, I'll be there.
You heard.
I'll be there.
You heard.
I'll be on the next flight.
I think is that what your next? That was my next question, to be honest. Scott.
Yeah. So I say when I win this world title, because I'm going to win. Yeah, when I win that,
undoubtedly.
I've got me next fight will be on the Hitman Fight League on the 10th of June. Hey. I'm not sure if the show's even announced yet or anything. I don't know if I was allowed to say that.
Scoop, lad.
I've already given the scoop. You heard it first on Andy's podcast.
Yes, he's given me the scoop.
So that'll be the next one. But then I'm not sure after that. I'll probably have to have a little bit of time to recover from 2 back-to-back fight camps. And I'll probably be fighting some absolutely insane, crazy 150 fight lunatic in June as well.
Wow, lad.
Because people like to get me fights against people who've had loads. But
that's your way though, Scott. You're that's the way you're going to have to go.
I think I've fought.
No one's getting you down.
I think I've only ever fought 1 or 2 people who've had less fights than me.
Have you? Yeah.
No, that's out of 16 fights. Wow. Like the first time I ever lost a fight was against Joe Colville. I was 19, having my first A class for a British title, and he'd had about 35 fights, and that was just Thai boxing. Yeah. So he had a nickname of the Skull Crusher and everything, do you know what I mean? So he's already got moody fucking nicknames and everything before I've even had my first A class.
Scott.
I've fought some reputable people, like.
I agree. You know, the names you fought are pretty hard.
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Yeah.
So Scott, I'm going to leave it there, you know, because I think we've done amazing so far.
No worries, man.
We've had a good chat, last.
We've had a belter, no problem, mate.
This episode was brought to you by CBD Lanks, and he sponsors both of us.
Sponsors us both, nice one.
So thank you everyone for watching.
Cheers everyone, enjoy.